Hey, we get to some flirting today on Shakesyear. Isn't this fun? We are still in Act 3, Scene 2, because why not? Let's have a super long scene in the middle of the play, because, yeah, that's fun. So if you remember, Rosalind and Celia and Touchstone keep finding these poems on trees that Orlando has posted all over the place because he's running around posting poems on trees in the hopes that he's going to find his Rosalind. So they find them, and Celia and Touchstone are loving this, and Rosalind's like, yeah, but there's these poems, and maybe they're from this boy. And then after Celia reads this, like, epic love ballad out loud, mocking Rosalind the entire time, she then goes on to taunt her because Celia actually does know that it was Orlando that was posting these things on trees because she saw him do it. So they do that whole, like, and guess who it was? Wink, 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 wink thing. Until finally it's like, oh my gosh, it's actually him. And then Orlando and Jacques enter the scene, and they're having a nice little spat where, yeah, there's just some lovely, lovely insults in that little exchange. And Rosalind decides that she's going to talk to Orlando. So for the purposes of this, it's not really a monologue, it's a bit of scene, but we're getting used to this by now, right? Rosalind, Orlando, okay? And here we go. So Celia's kind of like hiding in the bushes, watching, and Jacques has just left. And Rosalind says, I pray you, what is it o'clock? You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest. Then there is no true lover in the forest. Else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock. And why not the swift foot of time? Had not that been as proper? By no means, sir. Time travels in divers paces with divers persons. I'll tell you who time ambles withal, who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who he stands still withal. I prithee, who doth he trot withal? Marry, he trots hard with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized. If the interim be but a se'nnight, time's pace is so hard that it seems the length of 7 year. Who ambles time withal? With a priest that lacks Latin, and a rich man that hath not the gout. For one sleeps easily because he cannot study, and the other lives merrily because he feels no pain. The one lacking the burthen of a lean and wasteful learning, the other knowing no burthen of heavy, tedious penury. These time ambles withal. Who doth he gallop withal? With a thief to the gallows? For though he go as softly as foot can fall, he thinks himself too soon there. Who stays it still withal? With lawyers in the vacation, for they sleep between term and term, and then they perceive not how time moves. Where dwell you, pretty youth? And thus, pretty youth becomes everybody's new favorite slang term to use while flirting. So next time you're in a bar and you see somebody cute that you want to talk to, just go up and say, where dwell you, pretty youth? It doesn't work. I'll see you tomorrow.